Okay.
Welcome to FBB Forum. My name is David, and this podcast is dedicated to all the amazing women competing in bodybuilding. If you like this content, please be sure to follow my Instagram page and subscribe to my YouTube page. The links are listed below in the description. I'm very pleased to welcome the amazing IFBB fitness pro Shelly Mensah to the podcast. Shelley placed in the top six in both the 2022 and 2024 Olympia competitions, and her most recent competition was this year's Arnold Classic, where she placed second, which is really good. Shelley works as a lifestyle prep and posing coach, and she lives in the UK in London. I'm very pleased to speak with her, and stay tuned to find out more about her and where she'll compete next. Welcome, Shelley. It's great to have you here.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You look terrific today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. So my first few questions are about how you got started in bodybuilding, and I was curious if you have an athletic or a sports background before you started competing in bodybuilding.
Yes, so I began my sporting or athletic background from the age of 8, competitively as a gymnast. Then I went on to go to university. And at university, just like bring it on, I guess. Um, Everyone will laugh about that. But it was a last resort. They they only had cheerleading, so I thought I'll
Oh,
join cheerleading squad.
oh,
It was
nice.
very new though. They were trying it out. Didn't even know cheerleading would be in the UK, so I was like, this is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
To find out it was a whole wonderful world, and they had all-star teams who, went to worlds.
Mm,
At that time, I wasn't, thinking about worlds or anything like that, but the opportunities were there. So I joined my university squad. Then I got scouted and
mm.
to an all stars team. And eventually, in 2015, I went to the World Championships in Florida.
Wow.
And yeah, which,
Terrific.
was a dream come true, because I really got into cheerleading and realized, yeah, I want to go to Worlds.
Oh,
I
terrific.
actually went to Worlds as well after having my daughter.
Oh, wow.
So again, taking some time out to have her, raise her, and then train while she was very young.
Okay.
Challenging but fulfilling. And I then went on from there to do ballet as well, which you might have seen some of my pictures. So ballet, I didn't take to the stage per se in terms of performing, but I fulfilled a childhood dream again of doing ballet and on
Uh,
point.
okay.
The reason why I didn't combine it with the gymnastics, because at the time, evidence is showing otherwise, you couldn't combine the two, especially competitively in terms of gymnastics as well as ballet. Now, becoming a gymnastics coach, so fasting forward, um, a lot of the gymnasts now do ballet work. So,
Oh, really? Oh,
so they combine the two together, slightly different, but combine the two together in order to get the gracefulness when you see the floor work in
oh,
gymnastics. Yeah.
yes, I understand. That
And
makes
the
sense.
beam work as well.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I, went to ballerina classes or ballet classes, as you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
I then got published over here and got recognized by Davina McCall, who's a presenter over here.
Okay.
So that was amazing. And then I also got further modeling work in ballet or point work as well.
Nice.
And they classed me as a dancer.
Oh, wow.
um, so I started as an adult, so that got recognized that, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And
Sure.
then at the age of 30, I actually went to the gym for the first time, got my membership, and thought, you know what, I want to do something that's going to give me some sort of longevity. I'm also hyperactive. I felt a bit lost once, once the other things, went down or died down, I should say. I retired from cheerleading.
Yeah.
So I got into the gym. But 4 months later, after joining the gym, because the gym I joined, Maybe this wasn't made good thing, but also at the time, you know, it didn't allow me to start doing the weights for 4 months. They had all these wonderful classes that kind of related to gymnastics. So I thought, you
Oh,
know what? I looked at the
oh,
weights and thought, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go to the classes.
oh, I see. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
ended up doing trapeze, aerial, I did pole, I
Wow.
did silks. I tried that. Wasn't quite good at skills, but I didn't even give it time, to even get good. So
Okay. Okay.
um
Cool.
and then it wasn't until one of my friends who was in the fitness industry, she's not a bodybuilder, but she does train others,
Okay.
um, a PT. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna come down to your gym." And I went, "Oh, okay. To do what?" She went, "To train
Uh-huh.
weights." Like, I was like, "Oh, this will be the time I try the weights out."
Uh-huh. So she got you
Um,
into it, huh?
yeah, so she got me into it. It was the most frustrating thing ever. She first put me on the leg press, and I could see her just lifting it up and down so casually. And I thought, "Oh, okay, I can try that." Went on it, couldn't even lift the thing up without any weights on it. I was like, "Wow."
Oh, wow. Yeah.
How do you crack this? And she was like, "You just gotta be consistent with it." And I was like, "I don't know if I like it, first of all, but okay." Um, so anyways, when she went away, I thought, you know what, I need to really utilize, my membership a bit more than what I was doing.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
I you know what, I tried it out. And that frustrating sense that I had about it turned into love eventually.
I got you.
And then I started to see some results. I was very, 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 very slim.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
what I mean by that is I was under 90 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Um, I didn't look like a bodybuilder or muscly, or I don't know if I look fit because obviously I had a slender frame. So, that classed as fit, but I didn't look like anything of the sort in terms of any genres you can think of.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So I started to see that I was putting on some weight, but in a nice way.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what switched my mindset. And then also because I come from very disciplined backgrounds, and once I start to love something, I'm a 0 to 100 person, or 110.
Okay.
So I was like, let's run with it. I never thought I was go to Olympia, um, or go to the Arnolds, or even be classed as one of the top in the world, which I'm still trying to get my head around. Um, I just thought, you know what? I just want to see how far I can go, build a nice body that I absolutely love, as well as stay functional. So that's what I did for, a few years. And then it wasn't until someone came up to me one day and was like, have you thought about the bodybuilding world in terms of competing? I thought, no, I'm just going to carry on with this.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, it wasn't until I met someone else and they were showing me the way in terms of fitness, and, how that can go with me. And then it just went from there, really. And then eventually, the first ever Arnold's UK was coming to this country.
Mm-hmm.
And by then, I did get a coach. And I thought, okay, the coach was trying, showing me the way, saying you can go into this, you can go into that, see how you feel. And then once the first ever Arnold's UK came, everyone was in agreement that I should do that.
Did you start off with fitness or did you do figure or
So my initial thoughts was to go into figure,
uh-huh.
but then we went into lockdown.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know that was a
Yes.
tough lockdown there.
Yes. So I was just tumbling in the park with my daughter, and it got shown to me that there is a fitness category. And that was when I was like, I've kind of seen that around.
Yeah.
I used to watch the likes of Whitney Jones, Oksana Grishna. And so I thought, you know what? That could be a thing, and I literally got a few messages about it.
Oh yeah.
And then I thought, okay. So then after that, sorry, I'm allergic to
No.
dust.
Oh no, it's
My
okay.
coach, my coach at the time was like, you can enter both categories. So I thought, oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Until, later on when you become a pro and, then you can decide, or they'll decide a pathway for you. Thought, oh, great.
Okay.
So
Mm.
I entered both in the Arnold's UK.
Okay.
But then bearing in mind, I was told, okay, you need to do a regional first. So I said,
Okay.
okay, let's do that. So we picked a show 4 weeks prior, went to my first ever regional and won. So I won multiple categories in figure, and then I won the overall in fitness.
Oh, nice. Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So I thought, fine, okay, let's go to the Arnold's UK. And, a few people again were like, and including my coach at the time was like, okay, you could end up getting your pro card. So, oh, cool. So I'll just keep working hard and see what happens. I
Uh-huh.
didn't really put pressure on myself, but I
Okay.
knew the doors were open. So, I did also see a video that Arnold in particular will invite whoever gets their pro card to the pro show after. Now, I know obviously they don't do as well standing up in terms of like, placing.
Yeah.
But it's an honor to be next to the pro so you can see, how much work you've got to put in and all of
Yeah.
that. So I thought,
Definitely.
okay, I knew that that was open. But the main aim was to see, how I do, first of all, being the first show, pro qualifier. And then if I get a pro card, I mean, that's a dream come true and a bonus. And
Yeah.
then after that, if I go, to the pro show, that's even more, honorable and what a dream, like, get out of here. So I
That's
thought,
awesome.
okay, we'll go to the Arnold's. Went to the Arnold's for the first time ever, I do believe. There were five of us in fitness, which means that we were eligible to get a pro card in the first place.
Oh, nice.
And I ended up winning it. Got my pro card on the Friday. Got
Wow.
invited to the pro show on the Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Ended up winning that. And
Oh, wow.
within
Terrific.
24 hours, got my first Olympia qualification.
Wow. That must have been incredible. Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot to take on in the brain.
I bet.
Um, I
Yeah.
mean, I was floating. I was like, wow, what just happened? Um, I have to say the judges were super nice. They spoke to me and they were like, okay, you really need to try and, maybe get a mentor in fitness, who resonates with you. And I was like, oh, the person who has power like me at the time, even though I wasn't a powerful gymnast,
Hmm.
the power came with the bodybuilding. I was actually a terrible jumper, but now I'm known as one of the best jumpers around, apparently.
Yeah. I bet.
So
Yeah.
that was funny. And I was like, wow, okay. I was looking at Whitney. So Whitney Jones had the power, and the style that resonated with me the most at the time.
Oh,
So I thought,
yeah.
let me contact her.
Okay.
And she took me underneath her wing, and I can't, thank her enough for that. And she's now become a friend as well. So
Terrific. Yeah.
here
She's
we are.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Went to my first ever Olympia. But before that, I was told maybe we should, put the feelers out, maybe do your first international show. So I did in the July Chicago Pro. Ended up coming second out of a strong, I think, 12 lineup.
Wow. Nice. Very
So I was like, oh
good.
wow, okay. And then went to my first ever Olympia and came top five. So that
Nice.
began a whole string of shows and getting invited to my first ever Arnold's USA. And then I
Nice.
came top three in that.
Uh-huh.
And then it just went on from there. Ended up going to my second Olympia, as you know, placing top six.
Yeah.
And now I then went back to Arnold's UK as well, did that. Did another couple pro shows, did that. So in total now, I will be going for this year my third Olympia. I have done 3 Arnold USAs, placing in all of them.
Yeah.
And I've also done 3 Arnold's UKs, placing in all of them. And I've done 3 pro shows to date. So I'll be going for my fourth as
Okay.
well. So this is it.
Sure. Terrific. Wow, that's amazing in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Was that the 2022 Olympia? Was that in Orlando?
The
Or
22 Olympia was in Vegas.
that was in Vegas. Okay, cool. Yeah, they switched. Yeah, they were
Yes.
alternating for a little while there. Yeah.
Yes. I've only been to Vegas so far.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. No, I didn't go to those Olympias, but I did go to Vegas last year for the first time, and it was that. Yeah, they put
Okay.
on a good show, and
Yes. So that's the one I was at, which I think you saw. So yeah.
yeah. Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. 2024. Yeah, I did see you there. That would. Yeah, you looked amazing there. And
Thank you.
the fitness ladies are great because y'all get the energy going, they get the crowd going, and yeah, it just the crowd gets crazy for y'all, but you're so dynamic, and it's just fun watching y'all do your routines. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. I like how it's kind of separated out too, because I know you probably have to change into your bikini too for the suit for the muscularity round and stuff. So
Yes.
yeah. Um,
Yes. Yeah. So we have the 2 rounds. So yeah, we're going pretty much all day.
I know that's true. Yeah. I was thinking so that your gymnastics and your ballet and your um cheerleading background probably really helped you with fitness because of the routine.
Yes, yes. So, although I did have to learn quite a few things from scratch, like how, what they're looking for in a fitness stage, especially the performance side of things. Although I was performing in, gymnastics and cheerleading, um, it was it was a different style of performance.
Hmm.
So, learning what they were looking for in terms of the judges and the also the criteria that we have to follow, the mandatory skills.
Hmm.
So just learning that, which was fun, and challenging as well, and I do love a challenge. So just adding those things in, plus bringing in my background to create, you know what me as on stage now. So yeah.
Yeah. I do think y'all have the toughest division, I think, because you have to do the routine, which is really complicated, but then you have
Yeah.
to be pretty lean and for
Yeah.
the presentation round too. And I just think seems like it would be tough to maintain both.
Yes, so that's the challenging part. Again, I love, thinking, okay, I have to look a certain way, which is the figure body or physique, plus then also still be good at a routine. So it's
Hmm.
just you need to get that balance for your body.
Yeah.
So I think each of us are very unique in this category because we have to find our own balance.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I was curious about with cheerleading, I know in the US, it's mostly like American football or
Yeah.
where you see the cheerleaders and sometimes basketball, but was there a sport in like soccer in the UK that you did cheerleading for, or was it just cheerleading as a separate sport, basically?
At my university, we did do some cheerleading for the basketball squad.
Oh, cool. Okay, basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't known to be sport orientated in terms of like you start off cheering at a sport and then go on from there.
Oh,
So the cheerleading world here was mainly competitive. So they had the university cups and championships. So that was nice. So you go against other universities. And then they had the all-star teams,
wow.
which I found out was, here. So um sorry. And that's where I got
Oh,
scouted.
that's cool.
So yeah, I went from there into an all-star team, and at one point I combined the two. So I did my university squads as well as do an all-star team, and then that led on to me just doing an all-star team once I
Mhm.
finished my degree
Okay.
in biomedical science.
Oh, wow. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So
Wow.
yeah, that's my title by
Wow.
trade. And
Nice.
then went on from there to just be on the all-star team. So from the all-star team, I stayed there, but then I had my daughter,
Uh-huh.
and then I took a small break and then went back to it to then go on to Worlds.
Oh wow. Would you say is cheerleading getting more popular in Europe and UK, or is it
It's
still?
very popular now,
Yeah.
and they won the cheerleading Worlds a couple of times now.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
terrific. Wow. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So they came up, I watched it come up very slowly, and then bang, here we are.
Aha.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
I know it's pretty popular here in the US and not only for cheering for other sports, but just as a competition itself. And I've seen it on TV several times. And I know that I don't know if they always have the Worlds in Orlando, but I've seen it on TV with the cheerleading teams in Orlando. So um
Yes, yes. They don't publicize it per se over here. You can stream it, of course. But they did eventually make a TV program called Cheer over here.
oh yeah.
So we did get recognized, yes,
Oh, that's very cool. That's awesome.
which is amazing. Yeah.
Ah. One thing from seeing several bodybuilding shows and seeing, I think it was Olympia, was it 2 years ago when
Yes.
there was injuries on stage, unfortunately Missy and Whitney, I believe.
Yeah.
But I was curious if you've had any bad injuries competing or training.
I've had several injuries throughout my whole entire athletic career, but
Yeah.
I did sustain a hamstring tear at the Arnold's UK, the last one.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes. I tore my hamstring on stage.
Oh, wow. Were you able
Yeah.
to finish your routine or were you
I
out of it?
actually did finish my routine.
You did?
I have to
Wow.
give it to the staff backstage because they really get to know you. So I remember walking off, and one of the ladies and who was an official came up to me and went, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "She's like, I know you're not okay," you know.
Yeah.
So, she saw to me straight away. Everyone, the ladies in fitness were so amazing. They ended up, wheeling me around afterwards and, coming
Wow.
to get me from my room and all of that. So, it's just a nice family as
Yeah.
well. Um, but yeah, I somehow came third in that one. I completely changed my routine on stage. The most funniest thing ever was because I was Black Panther on stage. I was screaming throughout that whole thing, but it was because I was in pain. But everyone thought it was because I was Black Panther, and that was I was putting on a
Oh,
performance.
that's
So I was like,
awesome.
I was like, oh, my hamstring. When does this music end? It's so long right now.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So
yeah, I
that's,
just quickly had to change my routine, and I just went through the mat after panicking and screaming, and everyone was like, "Wakanda for it." I was like, "Okay, hamstring tear," but I was like, At the time, obviously, I didn't know it was my hamstring because you don't put the two down. I just knew the back of my leg really killed.
yeah.
um, but I was like, okay, what are the mandatories? Did I cover things? What am I doing? So I just dropped into a split randomly. Um, started to do some straddle holds and trying to think, did I cover stuff? I don't know. This music needs to end.
Oh, I bet. I understand. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I remember we're
Wow.
laying backstage once they got me all, situated and they got me lying down. They got, the team to come and see me, paramedics and everything, and a doctor or a medical, officer. I was laying down all comfortable. The girls were around me, bless them, trying to feed me, give
Oh,
me
wow.
water. Then I just remember seeing, an official come along and be like, "Well, you made top six. Now you've got an hour to get you ready." I thought, okay. I thought, you know what? Do you want one or two or three chaperones on stage? I went, one or two or three. I said, I don't want to scare everyone. I'm in my home turf right now. I just came back from USA and people, you know what I mean? I said, can I look as uninjured as possible? They were like, but you're injured. I was like, yeah, we know
Yeah.
that. I don't want to scare my mom, make her faint or something. My daughter's in the and anyways, we ended up going with the one chaperone. And I was
Oh,
literally like, once they got me up, which took quite a while, I was like trying to walk and I was like, do I look normal? Do I look normal? I
oh.
can't look normal. I'm injured.
You had to wear the heels too. I mean, geez, that's not Yeah, that's not fun to
So
do.
luckily, pre-judging our physique run is done. So that was done in the morning, and then I injured
Oh,
myself on stage. So
oh,
I
I
didn't have
see.
to
So
wear heels. Yeah.
oh,
And we go
good,
back
good,
on
good.
stage in our costume. So I was in,
Oh,
flats.
I
So
see.
luckily that
That's funny.
happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the one chaperone come on. I just remember seeing everyone's face when I had the chaperone. But
Uh-huh.
then you know what? It was all, super, super nice the way they announced it and everything.
Nice.
I have to say, when they called out sixth place, I really thought it was me because I was like, surely, I was lucky enough to make top six as far as I was concerned in my head. The routine
Yeah.
was a big shambles in my head.
Yeah, gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
so anyways, I called out sixth. It was like, no, not me. I remember kind of like heads like going, I was like, okay, it's not me. And then fifth, oh, okay, still not me. Fourth, I was like, still not me. Hmm. Then they called out third, and then it was me, and I was like, wow.
Wow, awesome.
How
Wow.
did that happen? But anyways, I was forever grateful. I'm just grateful for being on that stage, let alone getting a placing.
Yeah.
Um, but one thing, when I got taught in gymnastics is you finish your routine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I think that's what kicked in. Instead of me just being like, oh gosh, I'm injured.
That's
And we got told in gymnastics, you best know those rules inside and out. If you need to make up some things that go
yeah.
with, your what you're doing.
Okay.
So that literally, you know, subconsciously was in my brain. So I was like, I'm not stopping, even though I was in so much pain. I didn't realize,
Yeah. Wow.
until afterwards how much we use our hamstrings.
Oh, yeah. No, it's so important. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important. But you don't, what I mean? You kind of like take it for granted, right? Because it's
Yeah.
functioning. So
Uh-huh.
after that, I just became very grateful for my hamstrings and my body
Yeah.
for getting through that
Oh, I bet.
and
Yeah.
getting through another injury as well. So
I bet that was, yeah, that's great that you were able to finish and but I bet like you said the song took forever. Probably you're like, yeah, like when is this going to end? Like, oh, and having to improvise on stage like that would be kind of tough though too, but
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, afterwards, even though people were like, we could tell you was uncomfortable at some point and it didn't look a bit odd. My daughter actually pointed out to my mom, said, my mom's injured. My mommy's injured.
really.
She knew
Yeah.
right at the split second, and my mom knew, but my mom said she was quicker. So I was like, wow. And a few other people who knew me quite closely knew she ain't well.
Yeah, I understand.
Of course, Whitney knew exactly as well. She was like, it was a bit tough to watch, because
Yeah.
they know me. They knew that something wasn't right. It wasn't the skills per se. It was they knew me,
Uh-huh.
as well as the officials backstage as well. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, I got through that, and then it took 17 weeks to recover
Okay.
fully until I went back on stage at Atlanta. And I remember Atlanta, in fact, I didn't have any shows on the card after that. I thought, you know what, let's just see how I heal up. And I wanted
Okay.
to be completely healed. Well, not completely, but you know what I mean? Functioning to my,
Yeah.
capabilities in the fitness category. By the time I go back on stage and be healthy. I've always wanted to stay healthy in this, and functional.
Yeah.
So I felt good about 4 to 5 weeks prior to Atlanta. So I said, you know what? I called up Whitney and I said, I think I want to enter Atlanta. And she was like, okay, let's go, girl. I was
Awesome.
like,
Yeah.
okay, it's not far away. She's like, well, show me your routine. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
And then we'll go
Good.
from there. So showed her my routine. I mean, I couldn't do anything for a while. I had to, work everything up back slowly. But she told me take my time, and the judges did tell me I could afford to chill because I was very like, very fast. So like, really taking the skills that I'm doing, slow down a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So that really played well actually to tearing my hamstring because it
Oh,
slowed me
yeah.
down all right. And
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
really think about my skills and think about, the criteria and the mandatories and, just put in enough to get through
Yeah.
Atlanta. So I went to Atlanta just to see where I was at. and to enjoy the process because I really do love what I'm doing and have fun.
Yeah.
And that led to me winning the Atlanta Pro and going to my second Olympia, which was the golden year. My one of my favorite colors is gold.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and it's the 60th, so I was like,
Yeah.
wow, yeah,
That's awesome. That's so cool. Wow, that's quite a journey you had though to get there. And I like what you said about screaming, but it kind of fit the Black Panther.
yeah, yeah. All my pictures from that was all me shouting. It was like.
Uh,
I even had
awesome.
one of my straddle jump pictures up, and I'm like, and one of my, I think, what was I? I can't even remember what I was doing. I was doing something, and I was just upside down screaming.
Oh wow, that's so cool though. I
Yeah.
mean that it kind of fit the theme, you know.
Right. Yeah. I always think, oh, it's funny how life works out in a,
Yeah,
in a interesting way.
that's funny with the crowd like forever Wakanda, you
Yeah. But you
know.
know what? After you do these things, I just laughed. Thought, you know what? These things happen. It's part of the journey. You learn a lot from it, and move on. So and then see where you're at. And then if you need to, you know, add things, do things, differently, do it if you still want to, carry on with the journey. And I've
Yeah,
pretty much done that for every injury that I've occurred, and I've had a few.
yeah.
Um yeah, I'm now battling. I've got this like ganglion thingy. But I
Uh-huh.
use it as like a little doorstop for my handstand. So I'm like always trying to turn something into a positive.
Oh yeah, I got you. I understand that. Oh, that's very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. No,
Uh,
I know that watching Missy with her injury on stage, I was like, oh, it was hard to watch. It was just like, oh my gosh. And
I
now,
know. I was actually at that Olympia watching.
oh, were
Um,
you?
yeah, so I didn't take part in that Olympia because by then I was kind of knackered. I because I did so well from my first ever pro qualify or regional, we can say. Um, I was on prep to prep to prep to prep
Mm,
to prep. And
mhm,
then I thought, okay, my one that I decided to do to qualify for that Olympia was Vancouver. And I
mhm.
said to myself, you know what, I'm actually kind of tired but if I do win it and make it to Olympia, of course I'm gonna go. And all the opportunities kept coming and you know what I mean? I was so happy and it's an honor and I realized I do kind of need a break, And people are telling me it's good to have a break, and if you want to
Yeah.
stay, in this sport and the longevity of it as well, we think that you can, go for a while. So that was all resonating in my mind. So when I went to Vancouver, I was like, if I win it, I'm going to give it my all as well, of course.
Uh-huh.
I'll go to Olympia and then have a big break. But I was like, if I don't, then I'm going to have a break. And I
Yeah.
came
I got you.
second. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the universe was telling me you need a break
Uh-huh.
or you know what? I came second because rightly so. I was against Sarah, who I came fifth in the Olympics, she came fourth. So,
Yeah.
and it was very strong competition. So, you know what? I said, you know what? I'm gonna now go and watch the Olympia, which I hadn't had a chance to do because I was just going, going, going.
I know. That's true. Yeah.
So it was nice. I ended up
Yeah.
going Disney World and dressing up every day while I was there and really enjoying Disney World and enjoying
Nice.
just sitting down and chilling, which I don't really do often. So,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then watching the Olympia, which was freaking amazing to watch.
I know.
So
It was a
yeah,
great show.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good that I think it is good to take a year break like that sometimes, or even a couple years, and then come back
yeah,
stronger than ever too, afterwards. And
yeah,
um, you know who I really like, and she's like dominating the routine is the routine section
yes,
versus the physique presentation is Taylor Larimont, but
yeah.
that girl is just like, God, she gets the crowd going, man. She's so dynamic,
Yes, yeah, she's got some amazing skills behind her.
She does. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's neat watching her. But all y'all ladies are amazing. It's just I love
Thank
watching the
you.
fitness division. So, but yeah. I was curious in terms of your physique. What would you say is the your best muscle group, and what do you think needs the most improvement?
Um, I think, well, the judges told me I just should keep doing what I'm doing at this point. I was told to downsize a bit in the beginning.
Okay.
So I did do that. My first Olympia, I was sitting around 69 kg on stage.
Okay.
The last physique, which I presented at the Arnolds, and I won the physique portion. I was sitting around, well, I was hovering in the 62 to 63, when I entered that stage. So I have come down a bit, quite a
Okay.
bit. So,
Yeah, I got you.
and this physique is what I'm loving right now in terms of like my routine, how it feels in my routine, as
Hmm.
well as how it's doing on stage as well. So at the moment, I'm just holding, keeping this frame. So I'm
Terrific.
in a pretty good place with that. When it comes to training, I actually train. I love training all body parts. It's like a puzzle to me. Like if you're missing a piece, it's not complete. It's gonna frustrate my head.
Oh, I got you. I understand that.
So
Yeah.
whatever it takes to make me complete in my category, I will do and
Okay.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I got you. That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have great overall look and good symmetry, and you have a good back. I was thinking you could be the back panther. See. Uh,
Thank you. I've been told that before. I'm about my back.
uh,
How did my back come along? Who knows? I do like doing a lot of pull-ups, and I really do like a pull-up. So maybe that might have helped. Who knows?
that's awesome. Yeah.
But I love to connect with all my muscles as much as possible.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my back, I guess, was taking its own entity at one point.
That could be a new nickname for you, Back Panther. Uh-huh.
Black Panther, that
Yeah.
has a ring to it.
Uh, um, I was curious in terms of your fitness routine, what do you think is like your best move or stunt on stage?
I would say, and I got amazing feedback from pretty much everyone about it, is the handstand clap. I'm
Oh,
the only one at the moment. Well, I was the only one to do it first of all. No one's doing it now. So I
that's
guess it's become a
amazing.
signature move of mine, which is the chest roll forward, push up, and clap.
That is amazing. Yeah, I know. I haven't seen anybody else do that. That is amazing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another skill that I do, which some of the girls do, but they do it from a tumble, is the X out. But I stand in X out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe those two moves are like my signature moves and which I really enjoy. Um, I got told when I first came to this, find your own way, see
Yeah.
where your strengths lie.
Uh-huh.
And those two skills came along and I'm hoping to hopefully we'll see what you guys think. And when I, keep going this year, add another skill to that. So I just keep playing around. I have this session where I just do what I call playtime.
Okay.
And I just discover things that I can do and how I feel in the skill. Because the way the mandatories are, it's not very closed down. So, press up of any kind. You can invent things,
Yeah.
but again, I need to find it and to be able to do it, to a great standard on stage. So, the playtime that I've been doing has made me really discover what I could actually do and play to my strengths, not anyone else's.
Yeah, I gotcha. I think that's great that you set aside that time to work on the skills and try new stuff like that. I think that's
Yeah, so just completely switch off my brain to my routine, which is very repetitive because you have to practice, practice, and practice, and just enjoy doing different skills, different combos. That's how you create yourself. And I have to thank Whitney for that because she's the one who, planted that seed in my head to really enjoy it and, enjoy, doing different things. And who knows what you're going to come up with. And that's exactly what happened.
That's awesome. Very
Yeah.
cool. Now, I was curious now, is Whitney like your coach basically, or is she more mentor friend?
So yeah, she does coach me as well. So I have a little team of coaches. So I'm with Pro Physiques as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's great. And um, with fitness, it's a little different than, the other like women's physique or women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I don't know, do y'all even have like a posing coach for like your physique um
Yes. So at the
realm?
moment, my posing coach is Sydney Gillen.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. And she's really good too, you know.
Yeah.
Now that I was surprised that she's retiring after, but you know, she's still going to be really active with the sport, I'm
Of
sure.
course, she is. Yeah, she's around. So, I think there comes to a point where your mind takes you elsewhere. You want to explore different things. So, I
Yeah,
think that's probably what happens with her. But what I do love is that she always looks happy, whatever decision she makes. So, um,
hold on a second. I'm going to pause just real quick.
okay.
I was curious, what would you say is the most kind of challenging aspect of prep for you, getting prepping for a show?
Well, I am a mom as well, and my daughter does compete. She's gone national now in gymnastics. So she does power tumbling. So that's a
Okay.
discipline she does in gymnastics. So I guess it's trying to find a balance between obviously, I'm competing as well as, she's competing, and we both got quite a few other things going on as well. Um, I would say pretty much it, but it's not as challenging as it, could be because I really do have a good support network. My mom is amazing. She keeps us both together. She raised me as an elite athlete as well, so she knows how to make sure that we both stay on track with not just competing, but in life. So, um, you know, I've also got really good family and friends as well who are very supportive. They've been supportive of me from when I started competing or just in life. So yeah, I am forever grateful. I do, however, have a motto that you do create your own support network. So if someone comes along and they're not supporting you, get rid of them. We'll say it like
Yeah, gotcha.
plain and blunt, but that's what you do. So, you create that network, and that support network. And that's one of the biggest things I always say to somebody coming in who wants to compete is you can create your space, your environment.
That's great. Yeah, I like that. How old is your daughter?
She's 12.
She's 12. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Wow. I bet she's your biggest supporter too.
Yes, yes, she is. She watches everything of mine. She finds everything on Google of me as well. She found a video of me in Japanese the other day. I don't know how she does it, but she's very good at technology.
That's very cool. Still having a little bit of sound issues. I'm going to move over here real quick and plug into the Ethernet cable and see if it works a little bit better.
Okay,
I don't know what's going on with my computer today.
it's okay.
Um, Let me see. But one thing I was curious about, how long have you worked as a coach?
I've worked as a coach. Well, first of all, I've worked as a gymnastics coach for a lot of years. So I've always been a coach in some respect. And then
Yeah.
after that, I went into PTing full time about 4 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Wow.
the transition from coaching others and PTing as well online as well as in person, it just flowed in. And it wasn't until I had a friend who had somebody she wanted me to train. And I actually was like, I'm going to recommend you to someone else to train in bodybuilding. And she was like, why?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was like, why? You've been coaching this whole time, what I mean? And you're, great at bodybuilding. Why can't you combine the two? So I have to give it to her for actually starting me on this path of just coaching, in bodybuilding as well.
Oh, nice. That's
Oh,
terrific. Yeah.
yeah. So she gave me the confidence. And I said, okay, so you know, we got to see because you're going to be my first client in this. And she was like, I'm pretty sure you're going to be fine.
Oh, very cool.
And then it went from there. And then, I got results. The clients were super happy. And it just built from there, really. And then I was at my home gym, Muscleworks, and they really encouraged it. They said, oh, I mean, you're great with, whoever you're coaching. So, just carry on. And if I ever needed advice or anything like that, they were there and they're highly experienced, been in the game for like 30, 40 years. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Can Do you have room for more clients if people did want to reach out to you?
I do, yes.
Mm.
However, I do get full at times, so my
Yeah,
capacity is a lot in the gym at the moment. But I do have spaces online as well, and when I can get someone else in, I will. So
great. Do you like working with lifestyle clients? I know in the UK,
yes,
UK is
I
pretty
do.
popular with the sweets, they're like, gotta say,
Yeah,
put
they
down
are.
that sweets.
Yes, I have both. So, you know, my thing about clients is as long as you are willing to try, and be committed, then I'm the one for you.
Terrific. That's great. I bet you're a great
Yeah.
coach too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very cool. Um, the in terms of living in the UK, in London, do you have a strong kind of bodybuilding community there, or is bodybuilding accepted in the UK, would you say? Or
Yes, it's just accepted. And the bodybuilding world over here is growing, as you may know.
yeah,
Um, and then my gym, there's quite a few bodybuilders there, I have to say.
really?
Again, I'm super lucky. I can walk to my gym in 18 minutes, so get those steps in.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Um,
I bet.
and yeah, the gym is tripled in size since I've been there. And
Really?
there's quite a
Wow.
few people competing as well. And I think the more, like, for example, myself and others in there who are pros as well, and we are competing actively, others have come up to me and have said I've inspired them to actually, either begin the journey or carry on the journey, or just to build a great physique, not necessarily go on stage. So I I've always wanted to, when decided I wanted to compete, I decided, I'm not going to have any pressure because I was into sports that were quite pressurizing, and not because I got pressured into doing it, because I absolutely loved what I do, but they were just pressurizing sports.
Yeah.
Gymnastics is seen as a perfectionist sport, even though, we're not perfect as humans.
Hmm.
But you got to be, close to perfect
Yeah. That's a tough
in
sport. Yeah.
in four disciplines. So
Hmm.
it's one of them things where I decided, okay, I'm going to come into bodybuilding and have fun performing, have fun with the weights, just have fun in general, and then show others the way. Like, we can do this. If you really want to be at the top, why not? And as more and more people have said, you know what? I love the fact that I can see someone in person go from the beginning and rise. They said that's so powerful than watching
Amen.
someone and idolizing over them and you never met them in life.
Yeah.
So I think that always spurs me on and is highly motivating. Even if I have, one of those days, and we all have one of those days where you like doubt yourself, or you're not sure of yourself for some reason, hormones be flying.
Yeah.
Um, I always have someone come up to me or send me a message or, something, or be like, that helped me, or, keep going, or some words of encouragement or something. And that just keeps me very, very happy and motivated. So
That's
um
terrific.
I'm not only doing it for me, I'm doing it for my community as well. And most importantly, my daughter. So I've
Yeah.
noticed since I've, so because she's only seen this journey, she didn't see my other journeys. But since I rose from doing nothing much in the gym to where I've got to, she's watched that. And I think it really encourages her to be the best that she wants to be. Because she chose gymnastics without even knowing I was a gymnast. And that to me is very special.
Oh,
So
nice. That's
yeah,
really
so
cool.
she didn't do it because she saw me do it and thought, okay, I just want to be like, my mom. No, she actually chose it. And then afterwards, it wasn't until my mom pointed, I went, did you not tell her you was a gymnast? I went, no, I wanted to find her own
Oh,
path.
wow. Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so when she found out I was a gymnast, she was quite shocking to her.
Oh, wow. That's so cool, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was super happy. She's like, that means we could go tumbling in the park. And that's how lockdown tumbling in the park sides. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's so cool though. Yeah, that's great that she's following that path, but following it on her own, too. And that's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's also into other sports that I can't get my head around, like football.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she's playing for Arsenal at the moment, I do believe, the juniors. So yeah.
That's what my daughter did, soccer all through high school and football and yeah, she loved it too. And she
Yeah.
hasn't done it in university yet, but I think she's going to get more involved at university too. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's awesome. Um, although I worry about the kids running into each other and getting hurt.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, she's an interesting character. She's feminine as well as rough and tumble.
Really?
So yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's
I'm
kind of like
just
that too.
ultra feminine.
Uh,
um because, well, I'll tell you a little, something about me. I wouldn't wear trainers or sneakers until I started bodybuilding or tracksuits or anything like that. I was like always in a suit. But my job, that's what I needed to wear anyways, and heels.
oh, really? Oh, I see. Oh,
So I was
wow.
forever on,
Uh, give you a little
bit
extra
higher
height.
up
Uh-huh. Oh, I got you. I
on my tippy
understand.
toes
Uh-huh.
constantly. Yeah.
But that prepared you for the physique round too, for bodybuilding.
It really did. So,
Yeah.
thinking about all of it, somehow all of that means I can do everything in one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I've been told a few times it's like this was your pathway. So I was like, okay, well, if it is, I'll run with it and, keep enjoying the process.
That's awesome. I think that's terrific. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have a few more questions for you. One thing I want to mention too, real quick, before we started recording, you talked about actually being born in the US and then, but you moved to the UK when you were 8 years old.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And so you have your dual citizenship between US and UK.
Yes. So, I do. But as you know, I grew up here. So,
That's awesome.
um, yeah. And my family as well, half my family is British
Oh,
as well
yeah.
as Ghanaian.
Very cool. That's awesome. You said from Connecticut
Yes.
was where your family's from
Yeah,
in
so I
the
was
US.
born in the States, in Connecticut, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you get to the US much to visit family and such or?
I go now to compete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And then on the way I do, see family and friends as well. So yeah.
Okay. Very cool. That's awesome. Um, Now before we started recording, we talked a little bit about social media, and you said you've been fortunate not to have to deal with too much creepiness or too much negative stuff,
Yes.
but which is great, especially since I mean you have like what 66,000 followers on Instagram. So but that's great though. But do you ever find it kind of hard to manage social media? Because it can be kind of overwhelming, I think, sometimes.
Um, I'm very grateful because I don't actually get many creepy messages or, things of that nature.
Hmm.
I do get a lot of like nothing but respect. I mean, I, however, get some messages where it's like, "Oh, would you carry me on your back or something for half an hour?" I've had those, but
I
not, not the ultra creepy ones. That's just to me a bit strange and why. But yeah,
I know, yeah. Sometimes
but
people
yeah,
send you
I've been
some
very
weird stuff.
lucky. I have, very supportive fans that have given me nothing but respect from the beginning.
Good.
And they really resonate with what I do, or they followed my journey from the beginning of when I was an athlete in terms of like my gymnastics into cheerleading, into ballet, into bodybuilding. I don't know
Oh,
where
yeah.
else it's gonna go. I hope, we'll see. But yeah.
That's awesome. That's very cool. That's good that, yeah, I'm glad to hear that because I think some of the really negative comments or can really bring the ladies down. I think it's just, it
Yes.
kind of weighs on you,
Yes.
you know.
It really does. We can only hope that people could change and become more caring. But at the same time, if it did come along, I'll just ignore it anyways. Because that's not going to their words shouldn't affect my journey.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
it
That's good.
shouldn't, because who are they to me? You know, that's as far as I see it. Who are
Yeah.
you? Like, why am I going to let that affect me? Because you're not nothing significant. And words are just words. I've always been an action person anyway, so someone can say words to me, but if you don't put it in action, I actually don't believe you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's good philosophy, I think. And yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you ever deal with like I don't know if the fitness ladies deal with this so much as, but I know bodybuilders and physique ladies deal with the post-show blues. Do
Yes.
you kind of get that feeling too?
Post-show blues. No, and that is because I probably went through it in one of my other disciplines. Definitely went through it in cheerleading, definitely went through it in gymnastics.
Hmm.
Because of the way I came into this, no pressure on myself to even compete or to do well,
Hmm.
actually.
Okay.
I I went into this saying, okay, if I am competing, I want to improve every time. So I'm against myself every single time.
Yeah.
And that has equaled results, which,
Yeah.
to me is a dream, anyways. But it's like I came into this in a whole different mindset because I've been in so many things that were, I felt like I was pressurizing myself to do well. I
Hmm.
didn't want to do that in this. I really wanted to enjoy everything that I did, every experience, the process, even the challenging ones, like post show blues. So I don't think I went through that because I was like, you know what, I'm off stage now. This is what you do. And then you go into improvement season, but you also need to have a balance. You need to have fun, socialize, be with your friends and family, as well as go to stage and train seriously for that if that's what you want.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's good. That's good that you feel that way and you haven't experienced it that much too. And
Yeah, but that's because I experienced it in other things. So I did feel that pressure. I did feel that blues. I did feel all sorts of emotions, and I realized I don't want to feel like that again.
yeah, I
In
got you.
this, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah,
cool. So that kind of prepared you for
yes.
bodybuilding.
So
Yeah.
somehow I guess the universe prepared me for this in a good way. So you know,
That's awesome. I know I've seen the shots of you with Nadine Phoenix, and I know y'all are
yes,
friends, but I love the when y'all kind of did like the night on the town. I think after her competing, and
yes.
y'all look
So
so
we
good together.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we celebrate each other after our shows. Again, that's, adding in the balance to everything because everything's a celebration.
Yeah, yeah, she's amazing too. She's gorgeous too. So
Yes, 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 she is amazing. She is very dedicated to the sport as well. So yeah, I'm forever grateful for our friendship, I have to say.
y'all have kind of taken similar paths too, where you've got your pro card, but she's been placing high from the
Yep.
get-go, So, but
Yeah.
yeah, so kind of like you. So I think that's kind of neat that y'all are taking similar trajectories like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think because we watch each other, don't we? So,
Mm,
we do take on each other's journeys and be like, oh, okay, so you did that. I could do that,
yeah,
Or if I say, oh, that didn't work, I'll be like, maybe I need to look at that, See, but it
yeah,
all relates back to what your journey as well. Even though you're both on a journey as friendships go, and then you're on your own journey, but you can also, take from each other.
yeah,
Think
I
that's what's
understand.
happened as well.
That's terrific. Yeah. I know she's in Birmingham, right? So she's a little further away.
She is in Birmingham, but we do plan to see each other. So we do see each other when we can. So yeah, we try not to leave a huge gap either. So it's nice. So I think the key to this is planning. Planning, planning, planning. I do
How
love a plan.
how far is Birmingham from London?
So Birmingham by car is about 3 hours, obviously
Mm,
depending on traffic.
that's not too bad.
But by train, if you get the fast train, it's an hour and 10, hour and 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, very
I
cool.
have a very good, well, London in general, or I should say the UK has a very good train system here, and underground
Yeah.
system is very built up and high tech. Um, I am particularly lucky because I live next to the major train stations that go out to Birmingham or Leeds or, the major cities in here, Manchester,
Oh,
Scotland. So,
nice. That's really cool. Yeah. I got to take the Channel train to France when I was there, and that was amazing. It was so cool.
yes. Did you go from King's Cross, St. Pancras or St. Pancras International?
I think it was King's Cross. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't live too far from King's Cross
Oh, very cool. Oh,
or
nice.
Houston as well, which is the one that goes to Birmingham. So yeah, I'm very well connected.
That's terrific. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something we don't have in Tampa is a very good transit system. It's the only train we have is at the airport, ironically.
Oh gosh, yeah, that one. Yeah, that
Yeah.
frustrating train because you're trying to catch a flight.
Mm-mm. Oh gosh. No, it's that what's that within the airport, so it doesn't actually connect any place else. So it's just yeah, we're a little
Yeah,
behind the
I've
times.
been on a few of them.
Yeah, we're behind the times in Tampa, I think. But oh well. I was curious if there's anything I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out.
Um, no, I think everything is, I think we covered everything that can think of.
Oh, cool. Yeah. How about do you have any sponsors? I did want to shout out then they support women's bodybuilding and physique and figure.
I have a massive team. So, gosh, I have so many people that, that are very significant to what I do. So I have, let's start off with James Culberson. He is an IFBB pro in bodybuilding. In fact, he's, the person who planted the seed that I could really go far in this. So
Okay,
a
cool.
massive special shout out to him, of course, always.
Great.
And then we have to go on to pro physiques. Whitney Jones, who's in it. You've got the producer as well. You've got Sally. So it's a whole team that, keep me in check as well on stage, as well as James does that as well. And then we have Sydney Gillen, who does all my posing and makes me, look ultra sassy but feminine and
Yeah.
show off my physique to the best on stage.
Yeah.
Then I can't forget again my bikini sponsor, Bikini Mama Cat. She's amazing. She's made every single one of my costumes on stage.
Oh,
I
nice.
have Buff Bombshell Lauren. She makes me sparkle. So she does my shoes and my jewelry, matches it so eloquently to my costumes every
Oh,
single
nice.
time.
Wow.
Nothing's too much for them. And then on top of that, I do have 10X who supply me with all the fuel that I need for stage in terms of like my pump, my protein, electrolytes. Electrolytes are so important to me because that's what gets me through my routine as
Yeah.
well. So I have them. I have Forte, who send me very specialized gym equipment that really
Okay.
help with my routine as well as the weight training.
Okay.
I've had Nordic, who've sent me guns, machine guns, massage guns,
Oh,
rollers, and things that we can sometimes forget about, but body work is super important in this as
yeah.
well. I do
That's
have a whole
true.
body work team as well. I have someone who does my nails, but did it 15 years. My nails are
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah, I love getting my nails done. So it's a time for therapy, I should say. I can think and relax and chill, which is super important in this as well.
Yeah.
Um, Gosh, I have Ria who do my eyebrows, all the skincare and all this stuff. So I have a lot of
Yeah.
people. I have Beefit Apparel who put me in my jumpsuits and all the fabulous outfits you've seen as
Yeah.
well. And I
Nice.
cannot forget, of course, my home gym Muscleworks. So I am an ambassador for
Nice.
them as well. I am a sponsored athlete for them. Gosh, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have anywhere to train and to be on stage. So, you know,
Nice.
that gym means so much to me because they're always thinking about us. They're always thinking about how can they improve, the equipment in the gym as well. What do I need? So they listen to all of us, um, and then they provide. Again, action speaks louder than words.
Yeah,
They're all action people, so
that's terrific. That's
yeah,
great. Yeah, I've
yeah.
always said it takes a village to be a bodybuilder, and it sounds like you have a good support system there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then at the top of this whole entire tree, I've got to shout my mom and my daughter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be born, number one.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, know what, nothing will become significant in this whatsoever. And then raising me, the way she did, I feel like I think I do, you might tell me otherwise. I have a sound head going on. So,
Yeah.
and that put me in good stead for doing all the things that I've done, as well as keeping me together. And then my daughter, she inspires me every day, not only with her journey, but just living life. It's so fascinating watching your own grow up, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
um, and she also supports me avidly, she'll be the first person to be like, "Oh my gosh, well done. I watched everything." Even when I'm, competing in America, she's making sure she gets on that screen. So,
That's awesome. That's terrific.
and they send me videos, so many like wonderful things, even though obviously I compete internationally a lot. And then of course, if I'm here or near or, they are at every single thing that I do.
Terrific. Yeah.
And my mom, she travels to Olympia. She hasn't missed one yet. So
Oh, that's terrific. Oh, that's great.
yeah, she hasn't missed a show yet, whether it's virtual or in person, I have to say.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
doesn't matter
terrific.
what she's doing, it doesn't matter what time. And then of course, my friends and my family, again, it doesn't matter what time, when is it, they always make time for me. And after my show, they're forever celebrating anything that I do, even if the world may think that it's not a good result. It's everything to me is a good result. It's a
Yeah.
celebration. Just making it to a stage or going through this journey and prepping, you should celebrate because prep's not easy. So
I know. That's true. I like
but yeah,
that.
I
I
think
love that.
I
That
think that's
positive attitude.
everyone. And if I missed anyone out, yeah, didn't mean to. Hopefully I
Oh,
haven't. But everyone who's been part of my journey, even if it's just walking past me, you know, doing a spud as respect, it just spurs me on to keep doing what I'm doing and to love what I do.
that's terrific. I love that. No, I love that positive attitude
Yeah.
and gratitude. I think it's great. That's
Yeah.
important, I think.
And then
Yeah.
carry on spreading that love and, growing bodybuilding in the UK or the world.
Yeah, I think that's great. No, and yeah, and you definitely inspire people up on stage for sure. So, well, thank you so much, Shelley. One thing I was asked at the end if you'd be cool doing a quick flex for me.
Yes, I could do that.
Thank you. Wow, your arm's looking great. Nice. I love it. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll try to get this posted probably later this afternoon. Of course, I'll tag you and
Okay,
stuff,
amazing.
and I'll have your contact info, your
Yeah.
Instagram down below in case people want to reach out to you and stuff. And
Okay.
but
Okay,
yeah,
amazing.
thanks
Well,
again,
thank
though.
you. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and take care. And best wishes in Atlanta too.
You too. Thank you so much.
Maybe I'll try to get because I'm in Tampa, so maybe I can try to get up for that show. We'll see.
Okay, amazing.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.